In the book of Luke, Jesus tells a story about a father and his two sons. This is the parable of the prodigal son. The story illustrates the boundless nature of God's love and forgiveness. It's a story for anyone who has ever felt lost, broken, or far from home. The younger son, restless and eager for independence, asks his father for his inheritance. He then journeys to a distant land, squandering his wealth on reckless living. His choices lead him down a path of despair, eventually leaving him penniless and filled with regret. At his lowest point, he decides to return home. He knows he doesn't deserve his father's forgiveness. He prepares a speech, hoping to be accepted back as a servant. But the father, filled with compassion, sees his son from a distance and runs to him. He embraces him, showering him with love and welcoming him home without hesitation. This is the heart of the parable. The younger son's journey is a picture of our own human experience. We often stray from what we know is right, chasing after fleeting pleasures and temporary satisfactions. Like the prodigal son, we can find ourselves lost and broken, longing for a love we feel we don't deserve. His decision to return home, despite his shame and regret, reveals a glimmer of hope. He remembers his father's love and chooses to believe in it again. He humbles himself, acknowledging his mistakes, and sets out on the long journey back to his father's house. This journey is also a reminder that it is never too late to turn back to God. No matter how far we have strayed, no matter what choices we have made, He is always waiting to welcome us home with open arms. The parable takes an interesting turn with the introduction of the elder son. He represents those who may struggle with the concept of unconditional forgiveness. He has always followed the rules, remained faithful, and yet he feels slighted by his father's extravagant celebration of his brother's return. The elder son's reaction highlights the danger of comparing ourselves to others and allowing jealousy to cloud our judgment. He fails to recognize the true meaning of grace and the transformative power of forgiveness. Instead of joining the celebration, he remains outside, consumed by his own sense of righteousness and resentment. His father, in his infinite wisdom, extends the same love and grace to his elder son, inviting him to share in the joy of his brother's return. The parable ends without revealing the elder son's response, leaving us to ponder our own capacity for forgiveness and grace. The parable of the prodigal son is a timeless story that continues to resonate with people from all walks of life. It teaches us that no matter how far we may stray from our Heavenly Father, His love and forgiveness are always available to us. It challenges us to examine our own hearts, to confront our own tendencies towards judgment and self-righteousness. It reminds us that God's love is not earned but freely given, showered upon us not because we deserve it, but because He is merciful and compassionate. The parable is a call to embrace forgiveness, both for ourselves and for others. It is a reminder that in the grand tapestry of life, every thread, no matter how frayed or tangled, can be woven into a story of redemption and hope. Like the father in the story, God is always waiting, arms open wide, ready to welcome us home.